And I think I read my quote of the day too early, so I'm going to do it again. So our quote for the day is by Jim Rohn, which is learning is the beginning of work, learning is the beginning of health, and learning is a process of spirituality. Sorry, is the beginning of spirituality. Searching and learning is where all the miracle happens, and that is a quote by Jim Rohn. And like I said earlier, we always love to hear from you and hear what your contributions are, and also hear what your questions will be. So that is why we have our Facebook page open, so you can make your comments in the comment section and then we'll read it out here live. And also the phone lines will be opened right after the first song of the program. That's the second half of the program, where we can entertain your calls and your questions. You're still listening to Pensioners FM 106.7, and this is Then and Now. So without further ado, let's not waste so much time. Let's go to what we have for today. So today we're going to be looking at processing of agricultural products then and now. We can't stop time. Time keeps changing. We can't hold it back. We can't ask it to stop. And also we can't fast forward and we can rewind time. Yes, so that is why we are definitely agricultural processing and agricultural products have changed from the forms which they were back in, let's say, 50 years ago, back in the past, and have evolved to something different that we have today. So that's why we're going to look at this topic for today, because it's so crucial, because this is the things that we live on, and we can't survive without agriculture. So we definitely need to see how they have transcended and what improvements they have gotten from the past. And like the way we would always do it, I am not here alone. I am not here alone. I have the beautiful Titilola Aisha Damilola, and she is the manager of operations of Tada Farms. You're welcome to the program, Ma.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. So also I have Mr. Samuel Akinade, and he is the chairman of the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, or your state chapter. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Juliet. Good morning, viewers at home. Listeners at home, let me say.
All right. So yes, that is why we're going to start today with our topic, that is processing of agricultural products then and now. So let me start with our, Miss Titilola, and as improvements we've seen in agriculture so far. So what are the improvements we've seen in agriculture so far?
There are lots of improvement in agriculture. In the past years, things have changed. Technology, for example, has actually helped the way we raise animals, the way we plant crops. For example, for crop farmers now, they do not really rely on labors that much. We use, tractors, we use eye machineries to help cultivate the crops. So we have less reliance on physical labor people. We have more reliance on machineries, and machineries, they make the job faster and easier. So that has actually changed in that area. And for crop, for animal husbandry, that's animal raising, the use of hormones, the use of antibiotics, to help our animals, to help boost their immune systems and all of that. So you see that agriculture from where it used to be back in the days have changed, and that's because of the advance of technology. Technology keeps improving, and we can actually take care for our animals better, and raise better.
Okay, we are going to go on. We are going to go on with that later.
Okay.
Because I want to hold you to that word, care for our animals better. But let me go to the more experienced hands, because yes. So Mr. Akinade, how can you say that agriculture has changed from the past, from how you used to do it when you were a young boy, to right now?
Okay.
Because you are still into it.
Okay. First, I will want to say we are all experienced. But in the past,
But I
let me
think
say old
you've been
days.
doing it for more than 30 years.
Glory to God. When we were younger, in the village, right from land preparation, it was then different from what we get today. Then the size of land we cultivate, then it was very small. Even though people were doing it on commercial basis, but the land was small. Because how many people will buy? You just prepare your own, then sell to few people.
Okay, so you don't buy some big land.
That time, majority of the people were planting whatever they would want to eat.
So what about now?
Now, majority of our people are in the cities. We are producing more for the cities now. You produce in the village, then that means you cater for more people. That means you need to get larger areas of land.
Okay.
Now,
just the expanse of land has increased. What else have changed?
The way of cultivating our lands.
How do we?
Then we were using crude means, cutlasses and hoes, even donkeys donkeys and camels in the north. But now we are now giving those one also for tractors.
Okay, so let me go back to Titilola, because she said something. I said I'll hold you to that word, that we now train our animals better. Yes. So what are the side effects from, changing from the old ways? Or let me first start with that question. Let me not go into this question now. Let me say, how do we train our animals better from how it was back in the days?
Well, I will not say train. I didn't use that word train.
Okay, you didn't use the word train.
I said we raise our animals better.
Raise.
Back in the days, I'll use the old. Well, back in the days, for example, when animals have diseases, or when they are ill or whatever, there are ways to take care of those animals, maybe using herbs or something like that. But then there was no way to actually determine the cause of the disease or the cause of the infection or whatever the animal has. But now technology has improved. The antibiotics, which veterinaries can actually prescribe for farmers, and once the animals use them, they get better. And also they're actually when the animal dies all of a sudden, for example, they actually postmortem, all these autopsies they perform on animals to actually know the cause of
Is it for research or just?
For research purposes, and to actually know and for the farmers to actually know the cause of the death of the animals. So in that way, technology has helped to prevent those illnesses or those diseases in the future.
Okay, and those things are not usually natural, because you said in the past they use herbs, but now there's a medicine that people use, that veterinary doctors use. Are there side effects?
Of course, there are side effects of, for example, using antibiotics. There are side effects of that. Using if you buy antibiotics, for example, they are at the back of the pack. They always tell you withdrawal period. Okay, 21 days withdrawal period. You cannot eat an animal before that 28 withdrawal period, because it will actually have side effects.
How many people adhere to such rules?
Well, that's why we need to engage livestock farmers. We need to engage even people that slaughter animals on the side effects of these things. Slaughtering animals that have not actually passed the withdrawal period. So that's just an example.
Okay, that's a huge difference of what's happening before and what has been happening now. So let's go to processing. We are seeing livestock. Okay. Now, the processing of livestock in the past, you know, and now, which was, live kill. You take your, a chicken or goat from the farm directly and drag it to your house and kill it and just boil and eat. Then now it's processed. Okay, so what are the side effects of these things have? We have them. I can go to any superstore and buy any kind of meat I want. So how are they? How does it have a side effect versus the live kill to the processed food?
Okay, first, I think we should actually ask ourselves, what is processed food? What do you mean by processing? Everybody does processing. You cannot buy meat in the market, for example, and eat it raw. You have to cook it. You have to fry it. You have to do whatever. That is processing.
But that is from your end. You are the one that is doing the cooking.
Yes.
But some of them is already canned and or packed or and pre-packed, so everything is just there for you. So that's the different. That's the angle of processing I want to bring out. Although
Okay.
I should have asked you to define processing for us.
Okay.
But let's go forward.
Okay, well, processing just means adding value to a raw material. So that's just processing. So, for example, when you buy materials yourself, food stuff for yourself, for example, or meat, for example, for yourself, and you cook them, like I said, that's part of processing. So, when you buy these things from the markets,
And it's already
pre-cooked already, cooked,
Yes.
fried, whatever, and when you buy them from the markets too, or from the ShopRite, for example, is part of the processing too. But there are some things, even when you read on the back of the information.
Yes.
On
On
the
the back
package,
of the pack.
yes, they tell you that they use natural additives, they use preservatives.
Are
Some,
those true?
yes, well, some don't use preservatives, some don't use additives. So I believe that people that actually process these things, they actually inform the consumers on on the benefits or the risk of.
No, like are they right? Like are they always saying the truth or do they lie?
There are we have organizations that actually do all these checks to actually certify that what you actually says what you're producing. So I will leave that to those organizations.
Okay.
But I want to believe that
They do. We
yes.
are going to come back to that part that you said about the organization. Let me go to Mr. Kennedy, and I want, since you produce rice. So how far has the rice changed? The rice production changed. The way you usually do it, when it comes to local rice, I mean, and how it was back then before and how it's now popularized, and how do you process it now?
In those days, when people were after harvesting the rice, when they wanted to process, they would use mortar. The one we used to pound yam now, to prepare pounded yam. That is what they were using then. But now we are using machines. After parboiling, we told the machine that we just
Does
mill
it change the nutritional value of that rice that you are doing?
Okay, it depends now.
Okay.
Then the nutritional value was high. But today, the machine, if you use it to mill once, the nutritional value will be high. But if you want to say they should polish it,
Okay.
they mill again the second time,
Yeah.
it will polish the rice. Then the nutritional value is going down. For example, we have a vitamin E in our seeds. The jam part of it contains the highest vitamin E. So if you now polish your rice, you are doing away with the vitamin C. So anybody eating that rice, that kind of rice, needs some addition of vitamin E.
To the rice.
Yes.
So that means the value has already been
It is going down.
depleted.
It is going down.
Do you have anything to add? Because you're nodding your head.
No, I'm agreeing with him.
Okay. So
Now
that's what-
about the meat now processing.
Yes.
She mentioned earlier. Then we were drying. Initially in the north, they were drying using the sun. On our own side here in the south, we will now put fire. We will rate a platform, put fire under, put our piece of meat on it, then cover with leaves. Then you will see it will become reddish, attractive, and it will taste well. But we have the smoke aspect of it. The smoke was being added to the meat. Now, when we use machine to dry or things like that,
There's no smoke.
the smoke aspect is removed, and the smoke leads to the development of cancer in the body.
What about the machines? Is there not, there's nothing inside that machine that leads to development of cancer?
We have many types of machines. Depends on the machine you use. For example, there are machines you can use that will now use a kind of solar energy. If you use that one, it will be pure.
Okay.
But if you add any machine that will involve ultra something, ultra, what do you things like that, some rays, it will become to add cancer.
All right. Okay, before we go on the show, she's laughing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Daddy said that smoking leads to the development of cancer. I do not want to. I'm not agreeing with that totally.
Why are you not agreeing with that?
Because I am a smoker. I actually add value to my animals. I process them too.
You smoke.
Yeah,
You
I smoke
smoking.
them. Yes. Like we all know, too much of everything is bad.
It's bad,
Yes. So saying that smoking actually has cancer to after consumption, I don't think is the right thing, because like he rightly says, in the olden days we used to do a lot of smoking. They used to do that
So
was
it
the easiest.
It was
that
too
was the-
much of it.
So that was the easiest way to preserve meat and fish in the olden days. They used to do a lot of smoking in the olden days, and I'm sure that from what I've read, we didn't have the issue of cancer was not really it was not really popular back then. And now those studies have shown that there's some chemicals that that are actually cancerous.
Okay.
With smoking meat.
With smoking
With
meat.
smoking meat, yes. But then it has not. Is not.
It has to be in a very large amount.
It has to be in a very large
Accumulated amount in
Yes,
your body.
consuming too much. Even water. Too much of water is not good for the body. Too much of anything is not
It's
good
not
for the
good
body.
for- anything too much
Too
is not
much.
good
So
for
it's
the body.
always good to eat everything in moderation.
If you get me right, you will agree with me. Smoking has levels.
Yes.
I said in the village, we will raise some platform, wooden platform, put fire under. But now you have a kind of what do we call it? Dryer,
Grill or something.
where you use coal. There is no smoke. It's only the heat that
So
you use to
is there any
bring
effect
on.
that smoking has apart from the cancer that we're trying to?
Actually, smoking wood. Actually, smoking with charcoal is better than smoking with
That's
wood.
what I'm saying now. That's what you use now.
Smoking with charcoal is actually better than smoking with wood.
So which one do you use to smoke?
I actually use
your-
charcoal to smoke my because it's actually we're trying to be eco-friendly, using wood too much what do they call it, the carbon
Hydrocarbon.
hydrocarbon
Okay.
it emits too much. But charcoal is a bit is a bit
Moderate.
better moderate than smoking with.
With charcoal, you won't feel the odor. You won't
Okay.
feel the taste.
But,
Just
But
the
with
taste.
wood
the
now,
wood,
it will be offensive.
okay. So we'll have actually talks about that. I like the fact that you didn't agree at first. So we can see different sides to it. And that's why I love having two guests on my program. So the time is 24 it's 11:24. So we're going to go on a very short break. And when we come back, we'll have more things to discuss on this topic. Processing of agricultural products then and now. Please enjoy this music.
Blood Sky on the beat.
Everybody reach for Instagram. Come and know they for Instagram. They call me like send a instant. Living fake life with cheap data. Them actually work. The money not just audio. Na audio. Them actually work. Not just audio. Slow down, slow down. Why you working yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Calm down, calm down. Why you working yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Them actually work. The money not just audio. Na audio. Them actually work. Not just audio. Them actually work. The money not just audio. Na audio. Them actually work. Not just audio. You were the form giveaway. Your landlord they chase you away. Your family them you don't sideline. Oh they blow you they blow timeline. 10 billion on flossing. Too much money can be nothing. So turn down the volume of of your radio. Your money when we don't see the audio. I can't do red, your body they shot, yeah. Them they hate you. Oh, who they slap you? Yeah. So slow down, slow down. Why you want to yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Calm down, calm down. Why you want to yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Them act very well. The money not just for you, not audio. Them act very well. Not just for you. Them act very well. The money not just for you, not audio. Them act very well. Not just for you. Who get here, may they hear. They like them, they show up be here. They pick up the stones when nobody throw them. I'm with the mansion in the air. Slow down, my brother. Oh no, calm down, my sister. Cause the money that audio. I can't do it, your body they shot, yeah. They hate you. Oh, who they slap you? Yeah. So slow down, slow down. Why you want to yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Calm down, calm down. Why you want to yourself? Why you work by yourself? Living fake life with a loca. Them act very well. The money not just for you, not audio. Them act very well. Not just for you. Them act very well. The money not just for you, not audio. Them act very well. Not just for you.
All right, you're still on to Pensioners FM 106.7. And this is Then and Now. If you are just joining this program, we've been talking about processing of agricultural products then and now. Yes, and we're still on live on Facebook on Pensioners FM 106.7 and all on all our social media handle is Pensioners FM 106.7. All right. Okay, so I see I have my guests here in the studio. Oh yes, and I've opened the phone lines that you can call in and make your contributions on this topic right now. That is processing of agricultural products then and now. The phone lines to call are 0908 111 1067 and 0808 010 1067. I'm going to call it subsequently for those that didn't get it, but for now we're going to go right ahead and go on with the program. So I still have my lovely guest right here, and we're gonna go right to the next questions of the day. Yeah, welcome back to the program, of course. Yes, and we're gonna go right to the next question. And what does it take to process food? What does it take to process food? Yes, let me start with Tilola. Yeah.
Okay. So you need knowledge.
Okay.
You need knowledge and information. So you actually have to be trained, because there's some.
Is there an institution that train people to process food, or just mentoring?
Yeah, just mentoring. All those things, you don't really need to go to an institution. Everything, the world is a global village. Just use your phone and Google and learn and all that. So you don't really need to go to any school except you need a certification and you want to learn more, because obviously there's a limit to what you can learn on the internet. Yes. So for example, I'm into animal husbandry. I own my farm, and I'm also into processing. I did not go to any school to learn. How
did you start
processing? How did I start farming? That's a long story.
Can you summarize it for us?
Okay, I actually studied law at the University of Bedfordshire. I'm a lawyer by profession. And farming has just been a childhood passion and dream. So after law school, 2015, I just went into farming, and it's been a roller coaster. It's not been
so smooth.
Obviously, yeah, it's not
But
been
you
smooth,
enjoy it.
but I enjoy it.
You
Yeah,
enjoy it.
it's the passion that keeps
For
you
you
going.
to leave law,
Yes.
for you to say, I'm not going to be wearing suits, and black cut shoes
Yeah,
to work
right.
every day, but I'm going to, put my hand in the dirt and grow something.
Yeah, that's the beauty of you see one thing multiply into, it's just beautiful. So and actually about farming is a different terrain entirely. In order to I stand corrected though, because my daddy here has been, he's been doing it from
Yeah,
back
that's
in the
why I
days.
brought him, because he knows how to use the hose and the cutlass.
Yeah.
You don't know how to do
Yeah, I don't know.
that.
Yeah, so I think the only way you can make the most of farming is adding value. That's where we come into the processing. So I think every farmer needs to think about value addition, because selling raw materials is not really, it's not,
We've
it's
evolved
not
more
what the
than
stress.
that,
Yes, we've evolved more than that. If you want to get value for what you do, you have to add value to
Yes.
it. That's why I go into processing too. So have the farm, raise the animals. When they reach maturity, you slaughter, you process, and you.
And that's why I was talking about it. And I love processed food.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
it's
easier.
It's easier. See, everybody's
So it's
busy.
easier.
We are all busy. You don't want to go home, start cooking meat and all that. So why can't you have?
I can't slaughter a fowl.
You don't have to slaughter a fowl.
I can't. But I love chicken. So, yes, and I know so I'm just saying that for a couple purpose only. So, yes. So let's go to our elder farmer in the house. Yes. So what does it take to process food? Because you've seen it, or you've seen from the crude method, and you were doing the mechanized, farming, and also you're doing something that before people didn't think it was possible to have Nigerian rice. Yes. I mean, when I was growing up, it was just foreign rice only. And the only local rice we know is Ofada rice, and it's always full of stone, and it's always look like this local food I want to eat then. I want to. But now we have nothing but Nigerian rice, and we're eating it fine, like the usually one I would eat before.
Thanks for that.
So, how have you come up with how does it take for you to process the food before, the same rice, because you have been into it, and how do you process it now?
Okay. Before, like I said earlier, people were planting rice. And that time, how many people will eat rice? Even myself, I will eat rice during Christmas, New Year, then during harvest time in April, around April. So then during Ilya,
So you swallow all the way.
all the way.
Okay.
And pap. But now, every day, people eat rice in every house.
Yes, and there's something too, because when we talk about processing, there's rice swallow.
That is true.
Yes,
That is
there's
true.
rice flour. I've seen
That
it.
is true. That
I've
is
seen
true.
it. I've
That is true.
eaten it.
That is
Right.
true. That is true.
Nice.
Yeah, that is true. So rice can be processed in many ways. Rice green will be there. Rice powder will be there. Your powder you can process to anything you like. Then they will use mortar. They will parboil. They will parboil using pot
Yes.
on fire. Then after that they will dry in the sun. In the sun, while drying the sun, pebbles can enter it. Then they will now melt inside the mortar. So that time, much of
So now what do you use?
so now, by the time you parboil, you can use machine to parboil. We have many of them now. Then apart from machines, we have fabricated drums around. You use to parboil. After parboiling, you dry. There are machines you can use to dry. So in such a way, pebbles will not enter. Then when you are milling, machines to mill.
Is there?
At that level, pebbles will not enter. Even during the process, if the pebbles will enter now, we have the stoner machine that
I want
destones.
to go into that. With all these machines you just called now, why are these stones in most Nigerian rice?
Okay, that is at the level. There are many reasons. By the time you are harvesting on the farm, majority of our rice they are harvested with human labor, manually now. By the time you now hold the rice plant, you want to cut with sickle. Some will just be uprooted, just like that. And the sand attached to the base of the rice will be piled with the rice to be threshed. At the threshing level now, the sand and the rice grains, they are threshed. you have to really separate them manually too. So that means by the time you are preparing for milling,
Yes.
by the time you are parboiling, we have sand inside already.
And it's a very stressful process.
It is. But when you use machines,
It's
by the
easier.
time, it is easier. You have the stoner. It is the stoner that will remove the stones now. Even when we have machines now, we have sorters. If we have black grains of rice, it will remove the black grains. Even if we have broken rice, it will remove those ones, leaving only the old rice.
There.
There. So separate. That is why you can get your broken rice packaged separately now on sale in the market.
For chips.
Yes, for chips. So that time, that opportunity was not there. They just made with
Okay.
water, sell like that raw.
And now we're talking about processing. Let's go to the issue of over processing. Yes.
Okay.
So is there a thing like over processed goods?
Yeah.
Let me start with
there
it.
is.
I love starting with you. I don't know because I can see you. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. For example, now, when you overcook vegetables, for example, the vitamin C is, when we're young, they used to say we should just parboil vegetable.
Yeah.
And must say you like don't overcook it because when you cook it, the nutrients are lost already. Yes, so that's part of overcooking. But there's some other food that you have to actually cook very, very well. For example, meat. Let me use this the coronavirus now that's been everywhere.
Yes.
It's a part of zoonotic disease, and all these diseases are contaminated from animals to human beings when you eat meats that are not fully cooked, that are not prepared very, very well. So I think what is saving us in Nigeria is we overcook our meats. We will boil it, we will fry.
it's a
Now put
blessing.
inside stew again. Yeah.
And boil again,
Yeah,
fry
we'll not put inside stew again and boil again and eat. So all those, all the worms and everything would have gone through those processes, and then they don't like it, So it would have reduced the effect on what would have on
That
our
means
body.
thumbs up for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overcooking now.
Overcooking our food actually helps us. Yes.
But it
So-
reduces the nutritional
nutrients.
value of the food.
Oh yes, it is. So you choose one.
There must be a trade-off.
Okay.
Exactly.
We
There
choose
was
whatever
no
we like
So
now.
we trade nutritional value for disease.
Well, it's not that it will reduce it. It will reduce it.
Yeah.
Entirely. No, it won't, because there are other additives that we actually add to
our
our food.
So it
So
complements.
everything complements each other. It helps the nutrition. It boosts everything up.
So I'm trying to say we should keep overboiling our food.
Well, not of our food, our meats in particular.
Okay, there's some products that has been processed from one stage to another. Like you said, processing is adding value. So from one stage to another, from a particular raw material, and then breaks down to another one, and then another one, and then it goes on. Is there a side effect to actually breaking down those kind of things? Like, okay, I'm looking for a very good example to use. Let's just say I can't think of anyone right now, but I know that there are foods that it's been changed from the raw state, and then it has another one, and then another one, and then it goes like that. That is that issue. So is there an effect that it has, or is it a good thing we should keep doing it?
I think I kind of have an idea of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's part of when you produce. I'll use meat. I keep using meat as an example because
Like you like
that is
meat a
my
lot.
that's my
Okay,
area
so
of
that's your area.
specialization,
Okay, yes.
area of strength. So for example, when you process meat, when you process meat from, let's say, raw, you slaughter the carcass
Yeah.
and all that, and you roast it, you smoke it, or you fry it, and there's some natural preservative ingredients that you can use, that would not actually affect the the nature or the nutritional value of the meat you're processing. And remember, majority of processing has to do with improving the shelf life
Yeah.
of of a hair of the
particular-
product,
yes.
of that particular product. So if we don't process, for example, if we don't process now, bacteria will start growing on the animals, or sorry, on the meat, and it start the shelf life will reduce. So processing actually helps us increase the shelf life. But then again, what are the things we'd actually use to process the materials we use to increase the shelf life? So if we ginger garlic, even salt
You used
can
to-
actually salt in the olden days.
We are going to go into preservatives. Don't
Okay.
worry. We are going to go
Okay.
into
No, I'm
preservation
just
of
saying,
food.
you know,
Yes.
preservative actually is actually
Preservation of
along
food. Yes,
this,
that's-
you know, along what you're saying. Like,
but I have a
they're
good example
intertwined.
now. That's why.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go into meat. Sorry, I'm not
Yes.
going to grain now.
Okay.
Because yes, let's say bread now. That's a very good example. Now, the wheat flour, the wheat plant is being processed to flour,
Yeah.
and then they produce bread. And most of the bread they produce these days, you see that they over processed because they want to use little ingredients to get more. So you see that sometimes the bread is so dry, unlike if you actually do a homemade bread, which I know that so many people don't, make breads at home now. But that's just the issue I was trying to bring out. Like, is there an effect to that? But I don't think we have time to answer that question.
Oh, it's just
So I'll leave that. I'll leave that for my audience to
It's a
call
short
in.
answer, okay.
Yes, to call in, and the numbers are 0908-111-1067 and 0808-010-1067. So let's go into that issue that you brought up now, and that is preservation
Yeah.
of food. Yes. So as preservation of food, does it have anything to do with processing?
Of course. Of
Because
course.
we're talking about that. I just want
Of
to bring
course.
like a big topic.
Of course. You can't process without preserving. And the main reason for processing is to preserve, actually, because when you fry meat, you actually want the shelf life to increase.
To increase.
So that's everything. The two of them they're intertwined.
Okay, now I'm saving this question. I save this question for now, this time, because I really yes, I like the question, but I really want answers to it, and that's adulteration of food. Yes, because it has to do with processing. Like, take for instance, palm oil. I heard that they add red dye, to increase the quantity of palm oil. And I don't know what they add to rice flour and other things like that. And honey, they add so many things. So due to the process of processing, due to that issue that we are going to process this food too, and they keep adding different things to food, and which are harmful.
Yes.
Which are very harmful, to us. So I want to talk about that. So how has the issue of addition of food and processing? Yes, I will start now. Go to grain because I think grains are, because meat, it also affects meat.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Because yes.
Well, I'm a lawyer first. So without, they say if a society doesn't have laws or is not backed by laws, people just do a lot of things. And that is why we have all these organizations. We have NAFDAC, we have SON, we have other agencies that I don't know
Ministry
their
of
names.
Health.
Yeah, they're in charge of certifying these things and visiting this.
but they're still there.
Yeah, but the issue is we have not actually evolved to that stage yet. We are still a little bit laid back.
We are playing with our health.
I know we are playing with our health, and that is why I always encourage people to buy foodstuffs or processed meat from trusted vendors, from where from where.
How
from a trusted.
how can you know it's a trusted vendor if you have not tried it? And maybe that person you feel is a trusted vendor is actually the one that is dubious or want to kill you.
Oh, well, that's a very
Yes. So
well, I understand what you're saying. For example, now if you buy meat, if you buy produce from all these big ShopRite or whatever, they actually I'm sure they don't display stuff that are not NAFDAC approved. That must have gone through a process of approval and inspection and all that before they display.
Are you
stuff
sure
like
about that?
Yes, I'm sure of that.
I have I will not call the name of the place, but I went to buy chicken and it tasted funny.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a big establishment.
Oh.
So that's the thing that we always sure.
We are
about.
not always sure. Nigerians, we like to cut corners a lot. That's
Yes.
the problem. And
So grains, yes, you can. I want to go
Let
to.
me add to that.
Yes,
There are organizations, like I can mention RIFA now,
yes.
Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria. Those of us that belong, we know what RIFA is doing in that area. But other farmers that are not in our association, their own is different.
How will we know that those farmers are not there and buy from them?
like she's saying now, we have organizations like Organic Association.
okay.
they monitor their members, how they package their materials for sale in the market. So if anybody will buy through them, is buying right.
Okay, now they monitor their members. What about other people that are doing the same thing but are not under any organization?
And that is where the public will need to know. For example, now, let's say she's a member now of that
Yes.
association. Anybody that goes to her will know where she's buying from.
But these things are not made public. That's the truth.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I don't know the names of farmers that are under RIFA. I don't know them.
Well,
okay.
not
Yes.
not all farmers. Not all farmers are into organizations, and not all farmers are into processing.
Into processing.
Yeah, and not all processed companies. I'm sure they have organizations,
They
but they are
do.
still government. All these things still boils down to government
To the
agencies.
government agencies.
Because we are just individuals. It's the government that still has to do a lot of this.
I get it.
Like you asked that
investigation
question now,
and
if she's
all
a
that.
member,
Control
if she's
and-
a member of
Control,
an
yeah,
association,
standard control.
there will be a logo on her product that will show that she's a member.
But you still need the government's.
We need them.
You still need the government's approval to show that what you're doing is the.
I feel that there's no much
I know.
information of this made public.
Well, I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gradual.
Little by little.
It's going to be a gradual process, but we are
Little by
getting
little.
there. At least we are better. We are better off than where we were, back in the day. So it's just
That's right.
gradually.
But okay, let's look at the past. I'm going to Mr. Kennedy now.
Okay.
In the past, were there much adulterated products in the market?
In the past, there were, what do we call adulterated products?
Adding something else to a particular product, processed product that is harmful. Yes.
Why do we have adulterated products? Somebody has, let me say, manufactured an item, and that particular item is already accepted or acceptable to the market. Now, for example, in the area of palm oil, they want to enhance the appearance, the color, or the taste. That's why they adulterate it. It is not the original product, but they want to tell you that it is
Why?
original.
Why do we have such issues in society now?
Why we have it is because of the government partial intervention.
What about back then? Was it something like this?
Back
Yes, in
then.
the past.
Back then, there was no adulteration
And so-
because people knew.
And
yes, jump
people
in.
are greedy. We Nigerians, I won't say all Nigerians are greedy, but a lot of us are greedy in Nigeria. We try to cut corners. 2 months ago, there was this thing going viral of meats, of bookers and restaurants using paracetamol to soften their
Yes.
meat.
Yes, I heard that.
So tell me, like, how? I don't know what it will cost you to go through the normal process. Cook meat for as long as you take. Why do you have to use paracetamol or coke or whatever to soften meat? So tell me, how does the government want to come and start? Will the government be going to every restaurant or every small book everywhere to start checking meat every day? So I think a lot of things has to do with Nigerians. We have to change our mindset. We stop looking for quick ways to
ways.
make money.
Like
Do the
cutting
things,
corners.
yeah. Stop cutting corners. Everybody's health is. I think we should start being health conscious now. We should not think about fast money.
Yes.
That time the greed for money was not so high.
Now
I remember when I was in primary school. By the time I went to eat white amala outside, I would not buy meat. But that woman will now go to the bottom of the pot. She will come with some pieces of meat, banla, to add for me, free. That now it is not so. You must buy
The
everything.
piece of meat is for sale.
It is for sale now. Even if it is as tough as bone, it is for
It's
sale.
for sale.
There, it will be soft but free.
For free.
So that time, the eagerness to acquire money was not so much there.
Yeah.
Service, not money that time.
Because even our dry pepper, grounded dry pepper in the market, I heard that they add kola nuts.
Kola nut, yes. Dry kola nut, they will
Dry
grind
kola
it.
nut and add it in.
So far, it comes with the same color.
Yes, and they will buy. Keep
and
buying.
and if you go and if government organizations go to such this thing now to impound their goods, people start saying, government, they've done this, they've done that.
But they should.
Yeah, they should. I'm
should.
sure they're
duty.
taking steps because there was this news last month that was going viral. An agency in Abuja went to a Chinese
Restaurant,
not restaurant, a store,
store, okay.
yeah, where they were selling expired 2078, expired.
Oh, wow.
So it's just
Expired
expired goods and goods that were expiring in 50 years. Can you imagine? So I'm sure that it's just we'll actually get there.
Then in still talking about adulteration, there are some that I don't think I can't use the word adulteration for those kind of goods. There are it's just fake products, and they
Yes.
bring to the market the same appearance but different, but not same content. Like the issue that some Saudi Arabians that were putting used crude oil and packaging it like honey, and exporting it to
happens.
African, and that is one of those issues, and it's so common these days because of this issue of processing. Because there's no way you go to the farm to get your honey directly, and then you start adding sugar or caramelized sugar or whatever to it, or water. It's just pure. So that's what I'm trying to bring out, that the effect that this processing have actually had to society is a
when
good
when
thing.
you adulterate any product, it is just like just like you have decided to kill somebody.
Yes.
What he actually wants to get, he pays for it. He's not getting it.
Yeah.
Let's pick a drug, for example.
Okay.
I have headache. I have bought that particular drug to use. I will believe that I've taken what I should take, but the thing will not work for me. The illness will be going deeper into me. But I'm using what I feel I should use.
Okay, so because of time, let's just go to, if like now you left law to go into processing, to go into farming, yes. And if someone out there, someone listening right now, wants to take the same step and go into farming, but I like farming, but oh my god, I don't want to start using hoes and cutlass and doing the old way and standing in the sun for hours and hours. So what is the advice on how the person should start, and what should keep the person going?
Well, farming has changed from what it was back in the days, and there are actually different types of farming now. There are different sectors to farming. Now you don't even actually have to go to the farm to carry oil and cutlass and farm. You can actually buy from farmers. We have the transport sector. We have a lot of aspects of farming.
That have evolved.
That have evolved. Yes, transportation. We have storage. We have a lot of.
That you can
pick one from. But the most important thing is knowledge. You can't just say you want to start farming and go to the farm and start. No, you have to seek knowledge. You have to learn these things. It's just like a skill. You have to learn it and be patient with yourself. Our daddies have been doing it for back in the days. They did not blow in one day. So
that is
they did not blow in one day. We are not blowing in one day. It takes time. It takes process. You can't jump the process. So if you want to be a farmer, just make up your mind that I will cry, I will suffer small, but eventually you start. Yeah.
Oh wow, you see the
benefit.
You reap the rewards.
And passion too.
Passion.
So passion is very, very important.
Yes, now I want to just challenge you that back then you were doing it and you not blow.
Get the passion there.
Yes.
When you get the passion, you know what was with.
Yeah.
She read law. I read economics. So when the passion is there, whatever you have now, start from that angle.
Okay.
If let's say I'm in media now,
Yes.
I can start my farming from here.
So
I can
whatever
start my
angle
farming from
you
wherever you are now,
okay.
start from that angle.
Oh.
And
Start
you make
small.
it.
Start small.
We have many levels, like she's mentioned. We have many levels in agriculture. Marketing is there.
Yes.
So consultancy is there. Actual farming is there. Many things are there.
All right. Thank you so much, my wonderful guest. I have the beautiful Titi Lola, Damilola in the house. So pretty. Thank you. And also our daddy in the house. He's a regular guest and then and now. So thank you so much, sir, for coming to this program. I really appreciate both of you. And thank you for being part of today's
Thank you.
Now. And also those that join us on Facebook, I can see you, and thank you and shout out to you. Olakani, Adewale, Badmos. So thank you so much for joining me on this program. And also listener out there, thank you for staying tuned to Then and Now, to this edition of Then and Now. And also don't forget to come back on Monday next week, same time, for another exciting edition, bringing you another topic on this program. So for now, I'm going to say have a lovely day and stay blessed. So bye for now. Also thank you my wonderful producer Pius and Survey for being part of this program, and the crew that always make this program special.
recharge my energy. I no get time for no enemy.